In the deep darkness of Mississippi, there is a road that carries more than dust, twisted trees, and the creak of old wood. It is Burnt Bridge Road, a place locals avoid once the sun goes down. The elders whisper of forgotten tragedies, of accidents, and of a young girl who lost her life there, condemned to wander without rest. For some, it is just legend. For others, it is a warning. On August 13, 2023, two young creators, CJ Fawn and his friend Mo, chose to face the shadows with nothing but a camera. Their plan was simple: capture the unexplainable. But reality would show them that some things do not want to be found. The arrival was quiet. The humid southern air pressed down on their shoulders, while the crickets' chorus built a false sense of calm. The road to the bridge curved beneath trees bent like broken bones, forming a natural tunnel. It felt timeless, yet eyes seemed to follow their every step. Soon, the silence cracked with snapping branches. Then, gunfire. Sharp, echoing, rolling through the woods like a warning shot. Still, they pressed on. CJ filmed with his flashlight in hand, remembering his last visit. Months earlier, he had seen a figure crossing the bridge. No face, no features, only a shadow against the night. That memory had never left him. And now, standing here again, every step felt like reopening a wound. When they returned to the van, they hoped for rest. But relief was short-lived. The curtains blocked their view, but not the sounds. Scratches slid across the metal, like nails dragging slow and deliberate. The air inside grew heavy, thick, as if something circled just beyond the thin walls. Then, the van shook. First a gentle sway, like the wind. Then harder. A push. Another. It wasn't chance. It wasn't nature. It was a test. As if something wanted them to know it could break in whenever it wished. Fear bled into their veins like ice. CJ broke. He opened the door and stepped onto the bridge. The wet asphalt reflected his weak light. The silence was crushing. And then he saw it. A dark silhouette, calm, walking, certain it was meant to be seen. No footprints, no scent. Only the chilling certainty that the legend breathed there. He bolted back inside. The door slammed shut. And then, a single, heavy strike against the van's side. No footsteps, no voices. Only the undeniable truth that something stood outside. Silence returned, but not peace. It was suffocating, oppressive, like a prison. That night, CJ and Mo learned a terrible truth. Some places do not belong to those who arrive. They belong to what never left. And Burnt Bridge Road is one of them. Whoever dares to cross that bridge may return with a story, but always returns with the feeling that part of themselves was left behind in the dark.
In January 2015, a group of film students was recording simple exercises outside their school near the Parnell railway station in Auckland. Chris Meir held the camera, adjusting the focus, while Hannah and Luke performed small improvised scenes. The mood seemed light. Laughter, casual conversations, footsteps on the concrete. But then, everything stopped. From the tall grass, two figures appeared. They did not move. They did not speak. They only stared. White masks, smooth, expressionless. The recording captured Luke's nervous laugh, Hannah's pointing gesture, and Chris's sudden silence. Later, they admitted the laughter was only fear in disguise.
Where's the other one? Where's the other one? I don't see him.
Reviewing the footage, something darker is revealed. A metallic reflection in one of the hands. Perhaps a pistol. The threat was real. Frightened, the students retreated, the camera still recording as they abandoned the scene. On the main road, the sound of blades filled the air. A police helicopter hovered above. It was no coincidence. Days earlier, in Auckland's Domain Park, a woman reported the same masked couple. They disappeared before the police arrived. The Parnell incident reached the news. Authorities issued a warning: do not approach. The danger was undeniable. Soon after, the suspects surrendered, but they offered no answers. Were the weapons real or replicas? No one could be sure. The investigation ended without resolution, but for Chris, Hannah, and Luke remained the haunting memory of two still figures, masked, staring in absolute silence in broad daylight. To this day, the footage remains the strongest evidence of an encounter that never should have happened.
Near the base of Mount Fuji in Japan, there lies a vast and unsettling woodland known as the Sea of Trees. It was born long ago on hardened lava from Fuji's last violent eruption, stretching now across more than 30 square kilometers. But what truly chills the soul is not its volcanic origin, it's the reputation. For decades, this forest has become a place where countless people go, never to return. Step too far from the march trails, and you may stumble upon abandoned camps or far darker discoveries. At the very entrance, a haunting sign reads, "Think of your parents, your brothers, your children. You are not alone." In July of 2017, an urban explorer known as Burbex entered this forest, filming every step for his audience. Only minutes inside, he encountered something strange. A bicycle, standing alone, abandoned in the undergrowth. He whispered that he was still just meters from the road, yet someone had left behind a perfectly good bike, with no sign of its owner.
A little disturbing.
I'm only a few meters away from the road right now, but I've already found an abandoned bike. It's actually a pretty nice bike. Let's take a look at it. I don't think it's been here a long time.
Deeper in the woods, the silence grew heavier. Burbex came across an abandoned campsite. Sleeping bags, belongings, scattered tools, like their owner had simply vanished. But then the discovery grew far darker. Inside a clear plastic bag,
there's a packet for a knife. I think I've just found some kind of note in the bag. It says 1211. I can't quite make out. I think this is somebody's name just here, and I'm not sure what this means.
was a note. The translation read, 112 verified. Fuji Yoshida Police Department. If the owner is found, please contact us. Burbeck's froze. This was not just litter, not just debris. It was proof that someone had walked into the forest and never walked out. Evidence of a life lost beneath the trees. The weight of that realization pressed on the air. How many other notes, scattered through the sea of trees, silently tell the same story? The Japanese government has long tried to intervene. Surveillance cameras near the entrance, volunteers trained to approach and speak with those at risk. And yet, despite every measure, the forest continues to draw in tragedy. Its dark reputation has only grown with media sensationalism, feeding a morbid fascination that refuses to die. The Sea of Trees is not just a forest. It is a place where silence carries the voices of the lost, and where every path may lead you to secrets that should never be found.
The scene clearly revealed human vulnerability in the face of nature's raw power. A lone hiker, making his way along a mountain trail, suddenly realized he was being followed by a large feline predator. The animal didn't just watch from a distance, it blocked his path and showed no sign of backing down.
Started recording.
I don't know if you can see it, but there's a mountain lion. He's crouching in the grass. He's actually coming towards me.
With the tension rising every second, the man tried to face the situation in the only way he could.
Hey, Mr. Mountain Lion. How are you doing? Nice to see you. Nice to see you. I am much bigger than you.
His trembling voice broke the silence as he shouted again and again, "Stay back! Stay back!" It was a desperate attempt to show courage, to appear larger than he really was, even though his own fragility was undeniable. With each measured step of the feline, the air seemed to grow heavier. The mountain silence, once peaceful, now pressed down like a crushing weight. The hiker's heart pounded, his palms grew slick with sweat, and his legs trembled as if ready to run. But he knew that running would only make him prey. His only option was to stand his ground, raise his voice, and cling to the illusion of control.
Stay back. Stay there. I'm not afraid of you.
After moments that felt like an eternity, the animal finally began to move away. It did not run, it did not show fear. It retreated calmly, as if reminding the man who truly ruled that territory. It was a terrifying experience, a chilling reminder of how fragile human presence is before a wild predator. In just a few seconds, what had begun as a peaceful walk through the forest had turned into a nightmare. The line between safety and danger proved thin, almost invisible. His life had hung by a thread, and that memory would forever remain a mark of respect for nature and for the danger that hides within the silence of the mountains.
He had spent the entire day driving down empty roads searching for a remote spot where he could finally rest. When he found a small clearing far enough away to hear nothing but his own breath, he believed he had found the perfect place. He parked the car, took a deep breath, and for a brief moment felt free from the weight of routine.
We're just trying to find a comfortable spot now. There's so many trees around, but it's just trying to find the right spot, which is going to be completely flat and well sheltered. It's a bit alarming when you see fallen branches like this falling from the trees. Could easily fall on you in the night. So I think I found a really good spot here. This area here is quite good. We've got a couple of trees around here, and this space right here is really good. It's quite flat as well. I might need to move some twigs out of the way for underneath the tent. But the path is just over there, so people are quite far away, which is really...
But that feeling faded quickly. The air felt heavier and the clearing, instead of bringing peace, seemed to push back against his presence, as if it rejected him. He tried to ignore the unease by focusing on simple tasks. He set up the tent, organized his backpack, and prepared his food. Each movement was mechanical, but his mind stayed alert.
I'm hoping with it being metal, they'll eventually just flex and bend and probably stay in the same position for a while. And hopefully don't flex back too much. That top one was a lot easier compared to the bottom one setting up. So this is a tent fully set up. We've got the tarp over the top, so I'm hoping it does keep the rain off in the night, but the tent will do it anyway if it wasn't there in the first place. But I'm thinking it looks really good. The sun is setting now, so it should be getting quite quiet, and hopefully no one passes through, especially at the night time as well. Don't want anyone passing through on night time. That'd be creepy.
The forest seemed to close in as daylight disappeared, and the long shadows blended into an unbroken darkness. Silence reigned, broken only by tiny sounds that suggested something or someone was nearby, watching. During a short walk around the area, he found something that froze his blood. Broken branches and freshly cut twigs scattered on the ground. These weren't signs left by the wind or animals. They were recent human traces. The message was clear. Someone had been there not long ago. The realization was immediate and suffocating. He wasn't alone. Back at the campsite, he tried to maintain normalcy. He lit the stove, prepared a simple meal, and even spoke out loud to himself, narrating what he was doing to pretend everything was fine. But the forest swallowed his words. The silence returned heavier, more oppressive, until it felt like even his voice was being overheard. As night fell deeper, every sound became sharper. Then came the unmistakable noises. Slow footsteps, branches cracking under careful weight, muffled voices drifting through the air.
Hello? Told you. Oh, come here, boys, together. No, but I don't want the guy to feel threatened at all, do you know what I mean? Yeah, leave him to it, mate, let's go. He's got a body, look, he's got a shell, stop there, man. What do you mean? Look on the tree, that's a... You're right. Oh, sorry, mate. We're just stopped you, mate, hi, man. No, it's alright, no worries. You're doing okay though. Tell you what, go down that way. There's like a bit of a ditch. Is there? Yeah, like a bit of a... Just keep going. It's like a building.
His security cameras confirmed what he feared most. Two individuals were circling the clearing, moving deliberately, whispering words too low to be understood. His heart pounded. Each second felt like a countdown to disaster. Overcome by tension, he decided he had to look. He pulled back the flap of the tent, and what he saw paralyzed him. The noises stopped for a moment, but standing there were two human figures, motionless, staring at him. It was no illusion, no trick of the wind. They were real, and they were close. For a moment, he was certain this was the end. His body froze, his breath stopped, his mind filled with images of violence, of death. Then, unexpectedly, the strangers simply gave a quick nod, muttered something to each other, and walked away along the trail. No attack, no direct threat, only their silent presence, and the choice to leave. He retreated inside the tent, zipped it shut with trembling hands, and stayed awake the entire night, listening, waiting for something to happen. Fortunately, nothing else did, but the experience left him shaken to the core. And here lies the dark truth. Camping alone can be extremely dangerous. This time he was lucky, but the worst could have happened. At dawn, the evidence remained clear. The broken branches, the footprints in the soil, the marks circling the tent. Proof that he had been watched, surrounded, and, by some stroke of fortune, left unharmed.
If you crave chilling stories that make the darkness feel closer, subscribe now to the Horror Channel. Get ready for fear, because the next tale might be the most disturbing yet.